Hello again, this is Athena Jezik, and I'm here again with Rhiannon. She also has another thing going on which is rather interesting, and I'm just going to say it's a paralysis of the stomach. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and see if I can use the advanced techniques to see if I can just relax something down and maybe get a valve or something to respond a little differently. And so I'm just going to ask her if this is the area right here. It is, okay. So I'm just going to go very gently in, and we're just going to see how this goes. This kind of work is not going to cause any harm. If the worst, that'll be the worst that it does. It won't do anything. So she'll stay in the same condition. It's not going to harm her in any way. And all I'm doing is I am feeling some unwinding. I don't know really what to expect. I don't know how the outcome will be. The name that they give this condition is gastroparesis, and the stomach just doesn't move food out of it very quickly, which I imagine is very uncomfortable. So it would probably, in my mind, and I'm saying I don't really know, but what I'm picking up is that it would be more of a valve problem or something like that. So even being a massage therapist, you are quite possibly going to work on people that do have different issues like this, but they're not going to necessarily let you know because they just want to be relaxed and have their muscles relaxed, which is fine because that's a good thing too, to de-stress. And there is some activity going on in there. It's kind of a little rumble. I have no idea if she's feeling it or not. I have a feeling she probably is, because oftentimes people who have a lot of things going on with their body are much more sensitive as well. And it is important to know your body. So he's just like manipulating and letting the tissue, the tissues and the web, fascial web, let that be able to just kind of rearrange itself the way it wants to. So the thing about this subtle work is that once you understand it, which you will learn if you're interested in my course of Fundamentals of Subtle Anatomy, you'll begin to see that there's just certain things you can do to make a huge difference with people. And it's something that your hands need to be trained in. You have to know what you're feeling. And I think the biggest part is to develop the intuitive part, because I didn't really know where this issue was a problem, but I was able to find it right away. And that was because of the intuitiveness that was just guiding me to it. This sort of work oftentimes takes a long time to really get it in your hands. It depends on how much you're able to practice. But it does oftentimes offer some relief, and if it's, like I say, if it's the worst it'll do is there'll be no changes. But there will be some kind of changes because of all what I'm feeling, but I don't know how much the change will be, if it's just going to be more superficial or if it will be actually going in with the function, because there may be something else going on with the nervous system or something else like that. There's a possibility that the cranial sacral work, the main cranial sacral work, could stimulate some of this to reorganize in a way very deeply and internally. It may be able to make some changes, but nobody really knows, in that this is so non-invasive and never causes any kind of discomfort for a person, other than if it's changing position, it may be a little stiff the next day because it's correcting itself. That's very, very tolerable. And there's some activity right here. Which is a little farther away from the first call, so it seems like it's going a little farther. And yeah, it's just softening. I'm just going to push a little fluid very gently in the fluid area, which is near the fascial area. We'll see if we can get a little more fascial movement going on. The body is pulling my fingers in a little deeper, and I'm going to be pushing a little bit more energy in with that, so that the energy can go in deeper rather than the actual physical pressure. So I'm really pushing a lot of energy in there now. We'll see if it changes. I have to back out a little. Now there we go. I pushed a little too much, and when you push too much energy in, then things stop. You kind of miss it. So you just back out the energy a little bit. The physical touch remains pretty close to being the same. So I think that's about all it's going to give me. I'm going to try over at the fundus of the stomach here too, because there might not be much movement with the stomach. It seems like it's kind of freezes down. So what happens is the food stays in the stomach too long. It doesn't move out very quickly. Okay, kind of twisting, maybe a little bit of visceral. Just kind of working the organ a little bit. And I'm just on the edge of the stomach on the organ. I'm just making sure that there's no restriction and that it's able to move well. The organs have their own rhythm. They move in 3 dimensions. It's known as motility. taking me down into where it would probably hook up with the small intestine somewhere in there. Let me check the motility of the stomach and just see if it has a three-dimensional process. There is a three-dimensional movement of the stomach, but its two directions are much stronger than the third direction. And there is a lot of little movement happening. There really is quite a bit of shifting I'm feeling. And I'm feeling that through basically skin and fluid, fascial structures, and that's really where I'm working, right into the fascia. I'm not even really getting into the organ. The stomach, of course, all the organs have fascial wrapping around them, and it's a lot. But this is all kind of moving. It will be interesting to see if she notices any difference. I really do not know what it's going to do. But it never hurts to try when it's something that's non-invasive and not going to hurt you. Yeah, that all is all feeling. The movement in there is feeling very much different to me. The movement of the entire stomach area, it's feeling like there's way more movement. I just heard a little gurgle. But it does feel like there's a lot more fluidity. I use that word a lot, but that's just like it just is slipperier. It's not as tight. But again, I don't know how that's going to affect the stomach. But either way, it's relaxing for her. And that's a good thing. Yeah, it's just interesting. Does this feel different than before? It does. She noted that it does feel a little different than when we started. So something has changed. To the degree I don't know, I would say there's a 48-hour process that might show more, but I always will stand firm in the position that the body knows how to heal itself. Okay, I think this is about all that it wants, and I don't want to overdo it, but we'll see how it goes for her, and if she feels like she wants to have a little more, if she notices any difference, she can let Karina and I know. If not, then it's just that something has changed a little bit, and that's what the body's going to do, so we'll just see what happens from there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and some of the information that was coming out. Please like, share, leave a comment. We really enjoy seeing all that. And I hope to see you in the next video. I want to invite you to explore my course, The Foundations of Subtle Alignment. It is going to take you beyond the work of massage therapy. It will take you into the world of the subtle anatomy. Misalignment of the subtle structures is often the root cause of chronic pain, injuries, and chronically high levels of stress hormones. These techniques offer profound benefit whether you are working on people with complex issues or not. In this course, you will learn about the subtle anatomy and a protocol for assessing and aligning the subtle structures.